Hey everybody, I thought I would give a quick look at two not quite vintage but older Citizen watches. I couldn't get a good date on when these came out. I think around 2008, but they're really interesting in that I'm pretty sure these are the only time that Citizen has ever used a ceramic bezel insert in their watches. You know, Citizen makes a ton of watches. They have some that are pretty high end, fairly expensive. I know they own, or at least they have a stake in La Joux. They have their The Citizen lineup. They have some really high end watches, and they always have. They have shortly after this time they had this line of watches, the called the Signature line, the Citizen Signature. So they've always had premium watches, but you would have expected that they would be using ceramic in their dive watches, but they are not, except for this time. And as I said, I think around 2008. These are two different colorways of the Citizen Infusion. I believe the Infusion is the ceramic put into steel. I'm not sure. There's at least three other colors that I've seen. There's a version that looks just like this, but the center link is black. It's like a rubberized coating, or maybe it's just like an IP coating. There's also an all gold version where the bezel insert is green, so it's green ceramic. And then there is a two-tone version with the inner parts of this and the bezel are gold, but the dial itself is green. Anyways, I like these different versions that you have in front of us. This one here is a silver/gray dial. Let's zoom in, take a look at these. You can see that it's not just ceramic, but it's two pieces on the bottom there that looks just like it's like filled with an ink or a dye. My guess is it's harder than we think to make a ceramic insert. At least it was in 2008. I remember when we first started seeing that on luxury watches, and it's kind of come downscale, downstream to more and more accessible watches, to where you can buy a pretty inexpensive watch today that has a ceramic bezel. But the Japanese companies in general, Seiko, Citizen, even Casio, for things like a sapphire crystal and ceramics, they kind of lag on certain things. It's like they're marked for luxury products, and they never kind of make it down to everyday products. Yeah, so this one has a bit of wear here. Pretty sure this is the standard OEM PE strap. You kind of saw this on a bunch of Citizens. I do think this was a premium product. This was before Citizen's Signature line came out, but judging on how this bezel feels, the fact that it has the premium material there, it is a 300-meter watch. I think this was one of their higher end options at the time. It actually, I just mentioned sapphire. This does not have a sapphire crystal. At the time, that wasn't exactly common. It was on luxury watches that cost many multiples of this, but even on a high-end watch, premium everyday watch, like $500 and up, you didn't see that everywhere. Really cool. I like the bracelet version though. I'm always a fan of bracelets, as you see with this watch right here. So as I said, this is part of the Citizen Signature collection, which came a little later, like 2010, 11, 12, I think. Look at that bezel insert. It's not an aluminum insert. They didn't go back to that, but they didn't put ceramic on here. They did its own thing. I think that is stamped or forged steel or something. You know, they gave ceramic a shot and they didn't like it. Anyways, beautiful little watch. I love the Signature series. But here's another one. I think the black dial works really well. The black wave dial. You see water resistance 300 meters. We have the same really awesome clicky bezel. I think it's only 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Feels really good. Feels really premium. My guess as to why that insert is two pieces is there's probably something when manufacturing, like a yield issue, like they can break during their manufacture, during their distribution or something, and this kind of made their yields a little better before it was easy enough to make entire ceramic bezels. We oftentimes take things for granted. Some things that are very cheap today, used to be very expensive when they first came out. We have the double pusher locking clasp, which is kind of common on a lot of Citizens with some micro adjust. We'll zoom out. One thing I do really like about this watch is a great size. This was, I think, before the super huge sized watch boom, which we're kind of still riding. Yeah. 40.5 millimeter watch, premium Citizen. That is awesome. I really like the red second hand there. Of course, both of these are eco drive, so they're solar watches. The model numbers I'll put in the description. I think these are the BN0030 and BN0340. And those other colorways are some modification of that. But I think it's curious. These are 2008, and here we are, 15 years later, and they still don't use ceramic bezel inserts. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know of another model, but they have their Series 8, they have the Citizen line of watches, and all of them, none of them are using ceramic to my knowledge. This is like their experiment, and they didn't like it. A lot of those Japanese companies are very conservative in their decision making. They probably tried it. The yields were bad. The costs were there. The sales of the watch didn't match. Is it a screw down crown? It better be. It's 300. Yeah. I didn't set these, but that being said, I think it's awesome that they at least tried it, and I'm hoping they give it another shot. It's been 15 years. The technology's come a long way, but yeah, it's watches like these that you kind of peer into a little part of the history of the manufacturing of watchmaking. You see what a premium Citizen was like 15 years ago, without sapphire and with a two-piece ceramic bezel insert. All right, that's about it. What else? Okay, I'm gonna end with a loom shot, but I just want to get some more dimensions on here. 12 millimeters thick. That's very compact. 45. Yeah, I really like the size of this watch. All right, let's kill the lights and loom these up. You know what? 15 years later, that loom is still just as awesome. It picks up really well on my camera, but awesome. All right. Thank you very much.